Right now, updates on a police pursuit that ended in a crash.
Plus, China is quietly responding to Trump's tariffs, the country's new policies on semiconductors.
And day 2 of the NFL draft. We'll recap the picks from last night and look ahead to what's going on the rest of the weekend.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. It's Friday. We made it.
Sure is.
Yes, the end of the week is finally here, so if it was a rough one, at least you know it's Friday.
Yeah, and this is the weekend that so many of us have been looking forward to for all those winter months, how cold it was and how miserable it got at some points. We finally got a beautiful weekend with some nice, warm spring-like weather.
Yes, and there's lots of events for you to get out to, or if you just want to, head out and enjoy the nature.
Yeah, you do you. Yeah. All right, let's check in with Savannah Burrito, because we do have some rain to start off your Friday morning. She's tracking that. Even has the umbrella out. Hey there.
I do. Yeah, we're seeing those spotty showers around Fitchburg, the station right now, the city of Madison. You can see a little dot of orange on radar that's just outside into the west of even western Dane County. That will move in, though. So we are seeing those pick up an increase in coverage. That was expected. Nothing strong to severe, no lightning, but lots of heavy rain that's sitting just near La Crosse, Viroqua, Camp Douglas, Black River Falls. The heaviest and most widespread rain we've got just to the northwest. That's going to cross over into the Mississippi and then into southern Wisconsin, further into southern Wisconsin, mid to late morning, and continue into the early afternoon. And then by the time we're heading into late evening, we'll finally start to see those conditions clear out, but clouds stick around. They're going to clear out overnight, though, and we'll start Saturday morning off a little on the cooler side, expecting temps to drop into the 30s. But, guys, we've got a cool day, 53 only, a stretch from the 70s we just had.
All right, Savannah, we'll talk to you a little bit later. This morning, 2 people are in custody and 1 person is hurt after a police chase on the Beltline. It all started last night when Monona police tried to pull over a driver of a stolen car near the Monona Quick Trip. The driver sped off onto the Beltline. They got off on Rimrock Road, where the driver crashed into a minivan. A young passenger from the minivan suffered non-life-threatening injuries, while the minivan driver didn't. The driver of the pursuit vehicle, though, tried to run off. A 3rd passenger stayed put. That driver is facing multiple charges, including OWI this morning. Meanwhile, police arrested the passengers for their involvement in the crash.
China appears to have rolled back retaliatory tariffs on some semiconductors made in the U.S. That's according to 3 import agencies in the southern technology hub of Shenzhen. Chinese authorities have not confirmed the exemptions publicly, but the import agencies found out about them late Thursday. On April 12th, China raised its reciprocal tariffs to 125% for all goods originating from the United States. It's in response to President Donald Trump's move to hike levies on Chinese goods to 145%.
All right, let's see how the markets are reacting to all of this morning. Futures are falling on Wall Street. Let's see, the Dow is down some 208 points in overnight trading. S&P futures and NASDAQ futures are down about 0.3%. Let's see, Asian markets trading mixed overnight, and European markets, they are open right now and are mixed as well.
To Titletown now for day 2 of the NFL draft. With the 23rd overall pick, the Packers drafted Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden. Golden tallied 58 catches for 987 yards and 9 touchdowns with the Longhorns last season. This is the 4th time the Packers have held 23rd overall pick. Barring a trade, the Packers also hold the 54th and 87th overall picks in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, respectively. Picks in round 4 through 7 will be announced tomorrow.
What do you think of that outfit?
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, they always come with the freshest fits for the NFL draft, so I love his energy.
All right, let's see what the Vikings did with their 24th pick. The team drafted Ohio State guard Donovan Jackson. The Vikings have 3 picks left in this draft.
And met with a lot of booing, unfortunately. The Chicago Bears had the number 10 pick. Bears drafted Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. Prior to the picks, the Bears did pay tribute to Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael, who died of ALS on Wednesday night. And they also paid tribute to Walter Payton. He was drafted to the Bears 50 years ago.
With the 28th pick, the Lions took Buckeye defensive tackle Tyleek Williams. The Lions have 6 picks remaining in the rest of the rounds. Don't forget, News 3 Now, your home for draft coverage.
Our Eric Franke, Packers insider Jason Wilde, sports director Zach Handley, and sports reporter Andrew Banstra are live in Green Bay with the sights, sounds, and strategies of this year's draft.
All right, well, drivers are struggling to get parts from certain auto manufacturers. It's a lingering effect of the supply chain problems from the pandemic.
Our consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn shows How much of a toll this delay in parts can take on a consumer? Good morning.
Chris, Kyrian, good morning. If you own a Kia, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Hyundai, or Toyota, you might have to wait for a part that's on back order. And that could leave your car sitting for weeks to months. That's what happened to a woman from Windsor. She went without a vehicle for 9 months, relying on friends for rides so she wouldn't lose her job. But our Call for Action team got involved.
In September, we started reaching out to Metro Kia, and they weren't really getting back to us. We advised Sylvia to file her complaint with the state, the Consumer Protection Department, DATCAP.
Car repair nightmares like these are becoming all too common. I reached out to Metro Kia Madison. Tune in tonight at 10 for the full story, see what happened and how Metro Kia responded.
Michelle Renee, thank you. Looking forward to that story tonight.
All right, well, today, Luigi Mangione, who is charged in United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's fatal shooting, will be arraigned on 4 federal charges. Prosecutors filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty on the eve of his hearing. Mangione also faces charges in New York and Pennsylvania and has pleaded not guilty in those cases.
A new study in the journal JAMA shows measles could become endemic in the U.S. if the vaccination rates don't improve. That's despite its declared elimination in 2000. Now, over a 25-year period, the researchers project almost 900,000 measles cases. If the rates stay the same, they forecast about 11 million if vaccinations decline 10% and more than 51 million if they drop by half. Vaccination rates are down in the U.S. since the COVID-19 pandemic. The CDC reports outbreaks in West Texas and surrounding states, with some cases in other areas.
The Richland Park parade shooter will spend the rest of his life behind bars. The judge sentenced Robert Cremo III to 7 consecutive sentences of life in prison without parole. The Illinois man opened fire on parade goers in Highland Park July 4th, 2022. He killed 7 people. After that attack, the shooter drove to Middleton. FBI agents searched 2 local businesses there. They found the shooter's phone at Jim's Auto Service. Law enforcement officials say he considered carrying out a second attack in Madison, but ultimately decided against it.
Now, switching gears here, a special note from us this morning about WISC-TV and our parent company, Morgan Murphy Media. We are sad to report our longtime former president and CEO, Elizabeth Murphy Burns, has passed away.
She was a pioneering figure in American broadcasting, leading this family-run company for the last 43 years. Mark Kane has more this morning on our leader, mentor, and friend.
Born into the media business, it was not uncommon for Elizabeth Murphy Burns to rub elbows with politicians and entertainers like Bob Hope. After all, her grandfather founded the influential Superior Evening Telegram in 1890. She began her career in media at the age of 14, selling classified ads for the family-run newspaper. After attending the University of Arizona, she entered the field of broadcasting. By the age of 25, she owned and operated a radio station. She later rejoined her family's management team, and in 1982 became vice president of what would become Morgan Murphy Media. Under Liz's leadership, the newspaper business her grandfather started and her father expanded grew to include broadcast stations in 8 TV markets, 17 radio stations, a digital agency, and a monthly magazine. Liz Burns has been a pioneer for women in broadcasting, serving as the first woman on the CBS Affiliates Board and one of the first women elected to the NAB Board.
I hope that I made it easier for women to come after me, because we'd worked out the kinks, and so when the women came along the line, the guys were used to me, and so I hope that's a gift I've left.
An early advocate for the transition from analog to high definition, she told a Senate congressional hearing that cable companies should be required to carry digital broadcast signals.
The transition to digital television will only succeed if the early adopters can get their local DTV stations over cable and have assurance that DTV sets will operate with digital cable systems and other devices.
Her influence extended internationally. She was part of a delegation for the second Bush administration to promote independence news media in Russia, collaborating with Russian media executives to foster journalistic integrity. In 2018, she was among those honored by the Library of American Broadcasting Foundation's Giants of Broadcasting and Electronic Arts Awards.
I and my family take what we do very seriously. Being an integral part of our communities, to inform, educate, and entertain viewers on any platform that they want to watch us on, and being the one they trust and turn to. What a responsibility.
It's a prestigious award with illustrious fellow honorees. All have made significant contributions to the broadcasting industry. But Liz Burns was recognized for both her national leadership in broadcasting as well as her commitment to local broadcasting and the unique relationship local broadcasters have with the communities they serve. Among those other honorees at that luncheon, radio and TV personality Ryan Seacrest.
One of the honorees, her name is Elizabeth Murphy Burns, right? So
she was amazing because she admitted out loud that she's the reason that we have to suffer through
HD-TV. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, HD-TV. You know how we look. You know how you can see our wrinkles now? She's responsible for that. She created that technology, a real pioneer of the business. She's a lovely, true pioneer. And she owns local television stations. And she's doing her speech, and she's charming, and she's smart, and she's funny.
Liz and her husband Richard have spent the past few years in Arizona, helping shape the next generation of journalists at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, dedicating its largest teaching space in honor of the couple, a 141-seat technologically advanced classroom. Elizabeth Murphy Burns' legacy is one of innovation, leadership, and an unwavering commitment to public service and to her family, including her 5 grandchildren.
This industry has been very good to me and my family, and you need to give back and you need to set an example, because what you're doing is what should be focused on. It's the act, not the person. We enlighten, educate, entertain, and have fun doing it. You don't have fun, you aren't going to be good at it. And I think we're very good at it.
Elizabeth Murphy Burns was 79 years old.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Well, happy Friday. Welcome back. We're tracking some fairly heavy showers across Dane County. That's along the Beltline, the city of Madison, the northeast side of Madison. And then in Mount Horeb, you're seeing some of that yellow on radar as well. This is going to continue, scattered showers through the morning. And then another band of even more widespread showers that's sitting out in Iowa and also northeastern or southeastern Minnesota. Those are going to continue to move eastward. And I think we'll be dealing with some spotty showers at least through late morning, probably into the early afternoon too. This is taking us almost to lunchtime. That's all the showers that are west of the area right now. Going to continue to move further east, and then we'll finally dry up this evening. However, a lot of cloud cover will sit under that. Temperatures are going to climb into the lower 30s. A couple of us may only make it into the upper 40s later this afternoon, upper 40s, lower 50s, and then overnight we'll actually start Saturday morning out pretty chilly, but that's when clouds clear out, so sky conditions and waking up early Saturday morning will be mostly sunny, but that being one of the factors and our northerly wind on why we'll start the day off pretty cold. And then temperatures will warm pretty quickly into Saturday morning. Dry conditions Saturday. Might see a few spotty showers and isolated non-severe storms Sunday, but then the alert day for severe weather continues to grow for all of Wisconsin, and we're really hitting at areas Madison and westward. That's where the greatest chance of severe weather is going to be next Monday. There's a couple different rounds to talk about, and even some that could linger into Tuesday morning. All modes of severe weather are going to be possible. The warm front that's going to lift north into central and even northern Wisconsin, that'll be the focal point in the morning. So I do think we could see some isolated larger hail in the morning hours of Monday. We dry out, and then the afternoon, evening, and early nighttime round of storms that's going to develop along that cold front, that'll be the greatest chance of severe weather across southern Wisconsin. The Storm Prediction Center has continued to push this further eastward, now including the city of Madison, Minneapolis, and Waterloo, all of those areas. The orange color is a 30% chance of seeing severe weather. When you're this far out, 30% chance is very high in confidence. So as far as the outlook that comes out tomorrow morning, I think we'll at least be placed under a level 2. This is all based on the chances and outlooks put out by the Storm Prediction Center for severe weather. I think a lot of us are going to be placed under level 3, basically where that 30% chance is, where we have numerous rounds of persistent severe storms, and that including a few intense tornadoes or stronger tornadoes that are possible. So hail, strong winds, tornadoes, and also some minor flooding that's going to be possible. We've got a lot of storm energy that's going to build. You can see very high, moderate to high levels, and instability that's going to move out from the Mississippi into southern Wisconsin. That's why we're keeping the alert days. We called that a couple days ago into Tuesday morning, and then we're dry after that.
The Green Bay Packers found their new golden boy. At last night's NFL draft in Green Bay, the Packers selected Matthew Golden, a wide receiver out of Texas, the first time that Green Bay has selected a wideout in the first round since 2002. Immediately after the draft, the Packers' new pass catcher said he's going to tell Jordan Love in him he has a reliable target that he can trust. As for more insight on the Packers' new pass catcher, we go to our Packers insider, Jason Wilde.
We don't know what the future holds for Jaden Reed, right? He's led them in receiving the last 2 years. We think he's a good player, second-round pick 2 years ago, but he has a jump to make. Dontavion Wicks has a jump to make. We don't know what to expect from Romeo Doubs. He had the concussions at the end of the season. He had the suspension at the beginning of the season when he didn't come to work. And then you've got Christian Watson and his injury and those contract situations. So this was, you could say he was the best player available. I think he was, but he also fit a need, and a big one.
We knew coming into this draft that the Packers had 3 boxes that they were looking to check early and often, starting with a wide receiver, which they did last night. You can check that off the list, as well as a defensive back and a defensive lineman. Those are the positions you can expect Green Bay to target in tonight's 2 rounds that they'll have picks in, one in the second and another in the third. We'll have full coverage on whoever it is that they end up selecting tonight on News 3 Now. For now, at Lambeau Field, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
All right, we're looking forward to more of that draft coverage.
I've been watching highlights of this new kid that Green Bay drafted last night, the guy from Texas. He looks like a tough wide receiver. You know, he doesn't jump off the screen. He's not super flashy, but he looks tough. He can sort of catch a ball.
So that's promising. That's promising.
All right, we're rooting for you.
Yes. Well, up next, we will tell you about an upcoming Mother's Day gala.
We're back after this. We'll also tell you about some other stuff coming up.
That's
like
right.
some fun activities for you to do in Green Bay for the NFL draft. Fun's far from over. We're back here on News 3 Now, coming up right after this.
Welcome back. Mother's Day is just over 2 weeks away, and to celebrate, the Philippine American Association of Madison and the neighboring areas, better known as Pomana, is hosting a Mother's Day gala. Marchelle Santos Lang is here now to give us the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Kyrian. This is such an honor. Thanks for letting us be here with you. We are so excited to talk about Pomana's Mother's Day Gala event. We are doing that, of course, to honor mothers whom we all love, but also to celebrate Asian American Heritage Month, which is this month of May. And for those who don't know, in Dane County, the largest Asian group are Filipinos.
Wow.
And so this is such a treat for us to be able to do this, hitting 2 birds in 1 stone, but able to celebrate on May 10. We will do that at DoubleTree Hotel, and this is open to the public, but it's a ticketed event, a formal event, and we will be doing this to celebrate the Heritage Month, but also help with the fundraising for some scholarship programs that we're having at Pomana.
Okay, lots of great things going on. So for those who aren't familiar, what is the mission of Pomana?
Well, Pomana is a cultural association for residents of Wisconsin who has connection in the Philippines, whether by birth, by marriage, by life experience. And this is open to anyone in the South Central Wisconsin. And this is just a fun group. As an immigrant myself, coming here, having a group that are coming from your country or from your same region makes it feel a little bit less intimidating to go to a country. So this is a great group to be a part of.
Yes, I love it. And so this upcoming gala, like you mentioned, will celebrate the contributions of Filipinos and Filipino-American mothers. So what can people expect? Will there be speakers, music? What can we expect?
Definitely can't be a Filipino party without, of course, dancing and singing.
Yes.
So we'll have some featured singers, Jo Marie Pilarca, which is one of the singing champions that our Philippines were very proud of. Charlotte Telastu is a personality from this TV, and she is a founder of Gio's Garden, and she also has an incredible story as a mother, we're going to take on from the inspiration of her life experience. And there's going to be raffle, auctions, and lots of singing and dancing for sure.
It sounds like an amazing time, and we know we want people to get there. So who is it for? What's the when, where, and how can people get tickets?
Yes, anyone who has a mom or wants to honor their mom, bring them to the event. This is an opportunity. You want to dress up? This is a gala event. So this is a time to show off your nice party dress, but also if you just want to be in a community of people who wants to celebrate not only women, but also the Asian American heritage, or if you have connections with Asians, this is something that you will definitely enjoy and have fun to be a part of. And for those who wants to be there, they can get tickets and information from the website, pamanamadison.org, where they can get the information on the events itself.
Marchell, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll have more details on channel3000.com.
Hey, let me get a green bag 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, the NFL draft off and running in Wisconsin. We'll look ahead to day 2 and the events going on this weekend.
Plus, it's a busy weekend for Madison. We'll tell you about the road closures you need to watch out for before heading downtown.
Hey, good Friday morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Unley. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. A busy weekend, as we mentioned, in Madison. Lots of events going on. So you just need to get out and about because we're going to have the weather for it.
Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous. This morning, though, a little wet.
A little choppy, a little choppy.
Yeah, we got some showers out there. Savannah Brito has got the umbrella on the patio. Hey there, Savannah.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. This, for the most part, is just a little further north, including downtown, the city of Madison, Mount Horeb, Cross Plains, south of Wanakee, where the heaviest rain that we're tracking across Dane County is right now. We still got a little bit of light rain here at the station as well. Most the heaviest rain, though, that's all directly west of here, getting eastward as far as Lone Rock right now, affecting areas north of Platteville, Prairie du Chien, Viroqua, La Crosse, Camp Douglas, Black River Falls. Pretty much all morning, the last couple of days, those areas have seen the heaviest rain. It's not a bad start to the day. We do have wind chills out there, but temperatures are sitting in the mid to upper 40s across Dane County and across most of southern Wisconsin. We've got severe weather to talk about in the near future. Those details coming up.
All right. Thank you, Savannah. So this morning, the energy continues in Titletown as we enter day 2 of the NFL draft. Packers making a splash last night with the 23rd overall pick, selecting Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden.
And he's bringing all of the energy. Golden tallied 58 catches for 987 yards and 9 touchdowns with the Longhorns last season. This is the 4th time the Packers have held 23rd overall pick.
Hey, instead. It's time, baby. Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Green Bay on 3. Hey, let me get a green bag 3, 1, 2, 3.
Loving the energy, loving the fit. Barring a trade, the Packers also hold the 54th and 87th overall picks in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, respectively. Picks in round 4 through 7 will be announced tomorrow. And of course, with football comes all the rivals.
In fact, our pick is already in. There is no rivalry in any American professional sport, and that includes all of them. Quite like the Bears and the Packers, which goes back.
Yeah, those boos were for the Bears last night, who had the 10th pick. Bears ended up going with that Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. Prior to the pick, the Bears did pay tribute to Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael, who died of ALS Wednesday night, and to Walter Payton, who the Bears drafted 50 years ago.
Our rivals to the west, the Minnesota Vikings with the 24th pick. The team drafted Ohio State guard Donovan Jackson. The Vikings have 3 picks remaining in this draft.
And with the 28th pick, the Lions took Buckeye defensive tackle Tyleik Williams. Lions have 6 picks left.
And now our Eric Franke has been live in Green Bay all week reporting on the draft. Last night he got to spend some time with the fans after the excitement of the picks.
From Seattle to Miami and all points in between, fans are flocking to Titletown.
This is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deal, right?
It is. It's a very special moment. I was able to bring up my nephew and his best friend, Kyle, and just really looking to embrace the day.
You got your draft board ready. Who should the Packers take?
I don't know. I think they need a defensive tackle.
And since it's not game week, even those from enemy territory are able to bear being in the shadow of the NFL's most famous stadium.
It's definitely different than kind of like the Chicago area. It's definitely like a neighborhood with a stadium placed right in between. They got very,
super welcoming. Yeah, when we paid for our parking, the person was like, "Oh, here's our card. Call us if you have any questions or any concerns. Like, we'll be here all day." You know?
Midwest nice.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
This Browns bus straight from Cleveland's famous Dog Pound has made road trips all over the country. It's full of all kinds of, shall we say, unique NFL artifacts.
You got a functioning urinal over here. Or it doesn't function anymore, right? Or does it?
No. It's a beer cooler.
It's a beer cooler. But, that's nice. I hope you had to sanitize before you.
Yeah, very much. Actually, I took a professional to do it because I didn't want the women to freak out on me.
But like many of the fans here, they come with an appreciation and respect for Green Bay and its significance in the history of the game of football.
I'm excited to go inside Lambeau. Never been. It's iconic. It's, the Lombardi Trophy. There's so much history here.
So one of the other things that we have yet to mention from last night is that it was so busy. There were so many people in Green Bay last night that right after the draft began at 7 o'clock, they had to pause entry. They were at capacity for the entire event, so they were jam-packed.
That just goes to show you how many people are actually in the city.
Yeah, and hey, we got more left, right? So the final day of the draft is going to wrap up tomorrow night.
Our consumer reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn, has a preview of what festivities you can expect in the Green Bay area. Good morning.
Good morning. That's right. If you're heading up there for a last-minute day trip for a family of 4, I estimated it's approximately $175. So if you and your family decide to go, let me tell you about some options for Saturday. Starting at 8 a.m., you can attend a draft edition farmers market on Washington Street. At 9 a.m., you can watch or participate in a draft day 5K. You do have to register beforehand to run. Now, for the parents out there, you can bring your littles to the kids' draft party at Daily Buzz. It's $5 a child, and parents get 10% off any drink. Watch former NFL players, including some beloved former Packers like Amon Green, Eddie Lack, and Nick Collins, hit the field for a game of flag football. Now, that game will raise money for Green Bay's youth football team. There will be NFL signings, question and answer opportunities, and more. Starting at 1 p.m., there will be going to be plenty of opportunities to enjoy live music throughout the night, from country music artist Brad Paisley to DJs and Draft City Music Fest. For additional details on all of these events, times, locations, all of that, visit NFL.com.
Lots more to do between today and tomorrow. Michelle Renee, thank you.
Of course.
Don't forget, News 3 Now is your home for draft coverage. News 3 Now's Eric Franke, Packers insider Jason Wilde, sports director Zach Hanley, and sports reporter Andrew Banstra are live in Green Bay with the sights, sounds, and strategies of this year's draft.
Taking a live look now at Vatican City. Today is the final day for the public to pay their respects to Pope Francis before tomorrow's funeral. Long lines have stretched well into the night, with tens of thousands of the faithful filing through St. Peter's Basilica. Today, President Trump and the First Lady are expected to head to Rome for the funeral. And sources tell CBS News that former President Joe Biden will also attend. Biden is the second Catholic to serve as U.S. president. John F. Kennedy was the first.
A federal judge will sentence the disgraced former Congressman George Santos today. Under a plea deal, he'll get at least 2 years in prison, but prosecutors want 87 months, and Santos says he thinks he'll probably get the longer sentence. Santos became famous for lying about his work history, education, and even religion when he ran for Congress in 2022. Then Santos later admitted to campaign finance fraud and lying to Congress. His conviction last year is for wire fraud and identity theft.
American Airlines estimating a $200 million loss in ticket sales after that fatal midair collision in Washington, D.C. in January. American Airlines flight and an Army helicopter collided over the Potomac River, killing all 67 passengers on board both aircraft. Rival Delta Airlines says its passenger bookings are also down. The collision marked the first fatal crash of a U.S. airline in 16 years.
The 25-year-old suspected of shooting someone last Thursday in Madison has been charged with attempted homicide. Kamari Brown allegedly shot a victim on Baird Street. Fitchburg police took him into custody after he ran from the scene. He currently faces 2 charges for the incident. He'll be in court on May 7th.
Following up on this week's assault on State Street, the suspect is in custody, accused of attacking multiple people. It happened shortly before 10 o'clock on the 500 block. The suspect ran from officers, but they eventually got him. Police don't know what business the man came out of, but that block is home to busy spots like Whiskey Jack Saloon and Knucklehead's CBD and Vapes. Kieran Mullen has been working there for about a month.
I have to walk around like sometimes after midnight, whether it's for this job or other jobs. I don't necessarily feel like my life's in danger.
Madison police say that during the summer months, there will be more police on State Street, especially over the weekends.
The Next Steps Family Resilience Center in Beloit is turning classrooms into homes. The center has converted Beloit's old Royce Elementary into transitional housing to combat homelessness. Alongside apartments, the building hosts a new child care center for residents. There's plans for a community center in the works too. Families in need will be able to stay in the new living spaces for up to 2 years.
The whole point of Next Steps was to provide a space where families can have a space to kind of realign and get back on their feet.
It cost $8.3 million to convert the school. The first families are expected to move into the center in May.
Well, a busy weekend in Madison coming up. We have the Crazy Legs race going on downtown and the Mifflin Street Block Party tomorrow. The city's announced some closures for the block party. Let's lay them out on your screen. So we got West Mifflin, West Dayton, North Bedford, and North Bassett Street. Those start at 8 a.m. They're going to go until 8 p.m. And then you got the Crazy Legs. Those closures are on your screen now. West Gilman, Langdon, and Walnut Street. That's alongside Old University Avenue. Those closures are expected to wrap up a lot sooner. They begin at 9:50 in the morning with the event scheduled to end at noon. Roads are going to be open as the final runners pass through each section.
All right, well, let's check in with Savannah. What can we expect?
Well, guys, we're going to talk about Monday's setup and the greatest chance of severe weather.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Hi, Savannah. I'm Dory, and this is Ryder. We're at the Sauk County Humane Society in Baraboo, and we'd like you to plan our day.
Well, hello to Dory and Ryder. Temperatures are going to be cool today as a whole, a lot cooler than the 70s that we had the last couple of days. We've got some showers that we're dealing with on radar too. 47 the current temperature. We're only going to rise into the lower 50s, so pretty stagnant temperatures. We'll see them rise a little bit more. Specifically across Dane County, all those showers are north of downtown right now, Cross Plains, Wanakee, north of Cottage Grove up near Sun Prairie. The heaviest of the rain, you can see a couple of little areas on radar, the darker greens and also the yellows. The widespread showers, though, that's all west of even Baraboo, the Dells, Camp Douglas, Viroqua, Prairie du Chien, La Crosse, and Black River Falls, seeing that heaviest and more widespread rain right now. That'll continue to cross over the Mississippi and further into southern Wisconsin by the time we're heading into late morning and continue into the early afternoon. I think by the time we're approaching dinner, most of these showers out of here. Cloud cover is going to remain in place, but then we fall into the 30s overnight. Our northerly wind and clear skies being those reasons driving the cooler temperatures we're going to see. So if you're heading out to the Dane County Farmers Market tomorrow, want a jacket probably to start the day off. But tomorrow as a whole looking good. Even Sunday, mostly dry aside of the evening hours, but then we're tracking severe weather likely into Monday and Monday night, potentially into Tuesday early morning. And that's the time frame on your alert days for all across southern Wisconsin. This is the setup we're going to see. All modes of severe weather will be possible, including some isolated tornadoes. The warm front during the morning is going to lift north. We could see a hail threat in the morning on Monday. Then we're drying up ahead of the cold front. That's going to continue to move east into Iowa, Minnesota, and then into southern Wisconsin. That'll be the focal point and when the greatest chance of severe weather is going to be across southern Wisconsin. The Storm Prediction Center did introduce a 30% chance yesterday where the greatest chance of severe weather is going to be, and they did include this and expand it further eastward, now including the city of Madison. A large portion of the state of Wisconsin is included in that. That just means there's still a very high confidence of severe weather when you're this far out. This is 4 days out now. So what will the Storm Prediction Center do with this? Where that 30% chance is for the city of Madison, they're definitely going to introduce a slight risk tomorrow. I think a lot of us are going to be under that enhanced level 3 out of 5 when you're talking about severe weather, where numerous severe storms are going to be persistent, a few intense too, and that includes a tornado threat for Monday. The afternoon, evening, early nighttime hours are going to be the strongest, and then that secondary round that comes potentially into the early morning hours of Tuesday are going to be less of a chance. The greatest chances in the afternoon and evening. We're a couple days out, including the day before, and now is the time to adjust plans. Have several ways. Make sure that you have that to get watches and warnings. Review your weather safety plan and secure loose objects that are outdoors. When you're getting closer and the day of, that's when you need to keep sure that you're monitoring the forecast. Have the First Warn Weather app handy. We'll be including extra meteorologists to help with the weather coverage that we're going to see. We have a lot of the ingredients needed to support the severe weather that we're going to see Monday. Those are present. There's a little, not really a lot of uncertainty. I mean, there's still time for this to shift a little bit, but I do think that we're going to see a lot of severe weather on Monday.
All right, so plenty of time to plan ahead.
Yeah, we're a couple days out still.
Yeah, get that plan in place and just make sure you're ready.
Yes.
All right, Savannah, thank you.
Hey, you want Savannah to plan your day like the fine folks at the Humane Society did today? Love that video. Pets encouraged. Animals highly encouraged. Record a video, send it our way. You can do it through the Facebook Messenger, the First Warn Weather app, all sorts of ways. And then watch to see if you make it on the air. Well, May is Hmong Heritage Month, and this year marks 50 years since the first set of Hmong citizens arrived in the U.S. Our Tanisha Shaw is showing us how Sun Prairie Area School District is celebrating.
I feel like our story is hidden so much, you know, no one knows, like, not a lot of people know who we are.
A culture that was once silenced is being heard in Sun Prairie.
Hmong people was a part of that Vietnam War, which they call the secret war. It's called secret for a reason, you know, because not a lot of people know it. And I want them to know that our people fought alongside the United States, and basically young people were recruited, you know. A lot of people have passed away.
Jennifer Mina Yang is a first-generation Hmong American.
They were so young, I think they were 15. Oh, wow. And they both, their story is incredible. I think they both said, you know, what they wanted is envisioned as a dream to have something more in life. And living in a refugee camp in Thailand could not provide them the dream they were hoping for.
After seeing the struggles that her parents went through, she became inspired to create spaces that properly represent Hmong culture. She's the Hmong and bilingual liaison for the entire Sun Prairie School District.
To think that 50 years ago, where we first were in Southeast Asia and Laos, was where a lot of our parents were born, and having to go through war and fight for, you know, freedom.
Gang organized Hmong Heritage Month Thursday, a packed event with live performances, food, and more.
The Hmong community is such a beautiful culture, and we love to share.
This is not only a great time to celebrate Hmong history, but also to preserve it. Sun Prairie Area School District says they're using this celebration to show what Hmong history really is.
The clothes that you're seeing and even the large turnout is significant.
A lot of the times we weren't able to speak our language, so history says, or what we're talked about, is that we would put secret codes in our textiles.
A culture that remembers the hardships of the past while embracing the accomplishments that they've made along the way.
I'm very proud of my community, my culture, the resilience that we are able to reroot ourselves and regrow as a community.
Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Coming up in the morning sprint, the U.S. state whose economy is the 4th largest in the world.
You got a little kiddo turning 3 soon. Send us a picture. We'll show it on TV. Sprint's next. .653, time for the morning sprint.
It's day 2 of the NFL draft. The Packers have 2 picks today. Last night, the Packers drafted Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden as the 23rd pick. Official attendance in Green Bay, 205,000 football fans. The league stopped letting people in around 7 o'clock because they reached capacity. Be sure to stay with News 3 Now the next 2 days for live draft coverage.
2 people are in custody this morning, and 1 person is hurt after a police chase on the Beltline. It started when Monona PD tried to pull over a stolen car near the Monona Quick Trip. The driver sped off onto the Beltline and eventually crashed into a van on Rimrock Road. A young passenger of the minivan suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested the driver of the stolen van for OWI and also arrested the passengers.
In downtown Madison this weekend, prepare for multiple road closures. The Crazy Legs Race and the Mifflin Street Block Party take place this Saturday. For Mifflin, prepare for closures at West Mifflin, West Dayton, North Bedford, and North Bassett Streets. For Crazy Legs, closures at West Gilman, Langdon, and Walnut Streets.
State of California now has the 4th largest economy in the world. Only the U.S., China, and Germany have bigger economies. California beat them all out. Beat everyone else out in terms of growth. Governor Gavin Newsom outlined one threat, though, to his state's prosperity, and it wasn't the state's income taxes, which are the highest in the country. He said President Donald Trump's tariffs pose the biggest risk to California's success.
And speaking of tariffs, China appears to have rolled back retaliatory tariffs on some semiconductors made in the U.S. That's according to 3 import agencies in the southern technology hub of Shenzhen. Chinese authorities have not confirmed the exemptions publicly. On April 12th, China raised its reciprocal tariffs to 125% for all goods originating from the United States in response to the president's 145% tariffs on Chinese goods.
Well, today's the final day for the public to pay their respect to Pope Francis before his funeral tomorrow. Later today, President Trump and the First Lady are expected to head to Rome for the funeral. Sources tell CBS News that former President Joe Biden is also planning on attending.
A judge sentenced Robert Cremo III to 7 consecutive sentences of life in prison without parole. The Illinois man opened fire on parade goers in Highland Park July 4th, 2022, killing 7 people. After the attack, the shooter drove to Middleton. Law enforcement says that he considered carrying out a second attack in our area.
Today, Luigi Mangione, who is charged in the death of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, will be arraigned on 4 federal charges. Prosecutors filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty on the eve of this hearing. Mangione also faces charges in New York and Pennsylvania and has pleaded not guilty in those cases.
We'll have showers the first half of the day, and it's going to be cool, a lot cooler than yesterday. 53 the high later this afternoon. 60s over the weekend, looks pretty good. Maybe a few isolated showers Sunday, and then alert day Monday and Monday night into early Tuesday. The best chance of severe weather is going to be across the city of Madison, westward in the afternoon and evening, early nighttime hours of Monday.
All right, so make sure you have all the tools you need to stay on track of all of this.
Yeah, we'll have all the latest and continue to update social media and with you guys on air.
Savannah, thank you.
We're back in 30 minutes with the news and weather update.